The international news featuring the resignation of Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry. Constituency of Nairobi County in an operation to combat illegal alcohol being perpetuated by security officers. According to John Kisang, the Deputy Commissioner of Starehe constituency, he said that the operation will continue until they successfully eliminate the menace of illegal alcohol in the outskirts of Nairobi city. Kisang mentioned that the operation has been successful due to information from the public and the cooperation of police officers in Starehe in seizing the illegal alcohol, and warned sellers not to engage in such businesses.
We carried out this operation today in the morning because it was a kind of intelligence-led. We've been doing this all over, but today we became successful because we use our teams to find out the ground before we came here. And we became successful because of we did it with a lot of intelligence and at the right time. We were here, the team was here before 5 in the morning, and that is why we are successful.
And I want to send a very stern warning to everyone within Simbindi. We don't have any place for this kind of a business. Anything illegal, illicit brew, second generation alcohol, we have no space whatsoever for such kind of a business, and this must go as a warning to everyone who is practicing this or maybe planning to practice. We don't have any space for them.
Still on the same, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki said that the measures taken by the government last week to combat illegal alcohol, drugs and substance abuse remain unchanged and are not up for discussion. Speaking after a meeting with second-generation alcohol manufacturers whose licenses were suspended for 21 days for verification, Kindiki told the alcohol manufacturers to ensure they comply with the directives before resuming their business. The Cabinet Secretary rejected the manufacturers' proposal to give them 6 months to adjust to the new measures. Sellers also complained about the significant losses caused by the directive. On their part, stakeholders in the businesses requested that the government should conduct operations without discrimination.
As you are aware, on Wednesday last week, 6th of March 2024, the government announced 25 major policy and administrative steps that require to be taken to tackle the problem that we are having of proliferation of illicit and substandard alcoholic drinks, many of them toxic and poisonous that have led to the deaths of our people, and also the problem of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. We therefore thought we needed the input of the affected farms and businesses. They have all turned up in large numbers. They are in total support of the vetting process because they believe that there could be players within the industry who are undermining the good work that a few who are in that business could be doing. Unlike previous measures which have been taken in this area, this matter is devoid of any other consideration except national security and public safety. And therefore, we are very aware that these decisions and these measures must be implemented and enforced. All the relevant agencies have been directed to make sure that this operation and the measures are in place. We have also destroyed a lot of illicit and counterfeit merchandise, and the operation continues. So far we've gone around about 11 or 10 counties and the response is very good. We'll be going to the rest of the counties in the coming days, and make no mistake, this operation must succeed. And therefore anybody participating in the entire supply chain of narcotics has a date with us. We mean business, we will succeed. All the agencies have been put on notice.
Now, away from alcohol, in efforts to resolve land disputes in the country, Land Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome said that she will ensure the land dispute in Nairobi West between Al Mubarak and public servants is resolved within the next 3 weeks to settle the differences. Wahome urged the parties involved to cooperate with her ministry by submitting their old titles within 3 weeks to facilitate the process of issuing new titles to the rightful landowners in the western part of Nairobi City and across the country.
When I asked my officers why we have taken so long, one of the reasons I was given, the challenges, is that people take their time or they take long, and other members do not want to surrender their titles because they are not confident, I suppose, that their titles will be rectified and they will get back rectified titles. What we carry today, within 3 weeks, we shall finalize our corrections and our work and return them to you through the office of the Chief Land Registrar.
Our police officers from Kikuyu managed to shoot and kill one suspect while 5 others escaped with gunshot wounds early this morning in the village of Regen, Kikuyu constituency, Kiambu County. According to a tenant and the caretaker of the plot where the crime occurred, they described how they were attacked by these criminals entering his house, forcing him to hand over his belongings. Fortunately, security officers arrived and confronted the criminals, managing to kill one suspect while the others fled by breaking the roof of the house. Kikuyu Police Commander Ronald Kirui confirmed the incident, stating that they were able to recover 1 firearm, 2 motorcycles used by the criminals to terrorize residents, while also warning those who may have escaped with injuries and urging residents to provide any information that may aid in the investigations.
And when they reached this place, those robbers fired on them, and an exchange of fire ensued. That led to one of the robbers fatally being injured. There were 6 in number, armed, and they had started dropping the victim, who is a family. At that moment, they had already taken their phones. They had already started transferring money from the bank to the M-Pesa, but they were not successful.
Walinishikia hapo kwa gate, wakanileta wakaniingiza kwa nyumba ya tenant, tukiwa na tenant na familia yake. Hapo ndo akashika akaanza kutupiga, akasema tutoe pesa kwa account watumie, tukaiza wakatubibia masimu. So vile mapolisi walikuja kwanza mashambulizi, sijui vile tenant alitoka kwa nyumba na watu wake, nikabaki kwa nyumba kwa choo na mtoto nimejifungia. So mwezi mmoja alikuja akanipata kwa choo, akaanza kunipigia kwa choo, akataka kuchukua mtoto lakini nilikuwa na mtoto.
So yesterday we had a robbery at my place. I was accosted with robbers while entering my home. So apparently when I got to the gate, there was a vehicle that was trailing me behind. So immediately the gate was opened. So the robbers managed to enter the gate as I was parking. So they clobbered the caretaker, brought the caretaker to my home, and I really had the worst 15 minutes of my lifetime. So they terrorized us inside. There were around 6 guys, and I really appreciate the response that we had from our police.
Now, the Registrar of Political Parties in the country, Anne Nderitu, has called on political party leaders to embrace inclusivity and adherence to the ethical standards of political parties. Nderitu made these remarks during the opening of a political party registration office in Bungoma County, an office she says will ensure services to citizens at the grassroots level. The Deputy Governor of the county, Ms. Jennifer Mbatiani, commended this effort, stating that the office will be a relief for citizens as they have often wasted time and resources seeking political services in Nairobi. Much of this story will be heard later. Now moving on, cases of maternal and neonatal deaths in Bungoma County during childbirth have been listed with a high number, with various strategies including family planning being required to reduce these fatalities. Duncan Kwoba with the report.
Again, I'm called Constantino Deola from Ramka.
As one of the ways to curb the maternal and infant death in Bungoma County, the residents must embrace family planning and other medical methods to control high mortality rate.
Women and children are suffering. They are dying from needless deaths that could be avoided. The first way to avoid those needless deaths is family planning. One thing that any country can do to see growth, economic growth, is population control.
This is according to the CC Health in Bungoma County, Dr. Andrew Wamalwa, who said that the county still records a large number of childbirth and that needs to be controlled. Wamalwa was addressing members during the last day of a program event on health project for mothers and babies that was run by the E4E Mamae organization in Bungoma County.
For the short time that we have been with this organization, we have seen enormous and tremendous developments within our healthcare system, and want to hope that the skills and the knowledge that they have impacted among the healthcare staff is going to last long and to ensure that we're able to carry on even with or without more partner support.
On other part, the director of E4E in East, Central and Southern Africa, Kenneth Masharia, said that the climate change has greatly affected health issues in the world and therefore there is a need to change the method of pushing health agendas.
Most of the learning that we're taking here, we want to take it forward. We want to speak to our different clients and look at different ways of working. And not the national government, actually even the county government, there's a whole discussion around digitization of health. Now these are areas that we're really looking at, issues of climate and health. I'm sure you're grappling with those same issues in terms of the impact that climate change has had on health. Those are areas that we're really building into. And so we'll always have Bungoma in our hearts, in our minds, as we go to programming for new work.
Duncan Kwoba for EBN News, Bungoma County.
Now, in efforts to distribute electricity to reach residents in Busia, more than 600 families in Busia County are expected to benefit from the electricity distribution project in various areas and suburbs in the entire Busia County. This project, a collaboration between the Busia County government and the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, will cost 75 million Kenyan shillings, with Busia County expected to contribute over 40 million shillings to facilitate the project, which has been a desire for many residents due to the long-standing lack of electricity in neglected areas of Busia County.
We are going to reach almost 657 households throughout the county, and we are grateful about that. We still have got a lot of areas to cover. We are also grateful to the national government and through yourselves for the other project worth around 360 million that is also happening this financial year. So if you just combine these two alone, that gives us almost 430 million shillings project of electrification that we will be doing, because a country cannot develop when we don't have power. And it must be a collaborative effort.
As REREC, we previously used to receive the Exchequer funds to undertake electrification projects, but the corporation came up with a program that now collaborates with the county governments and the constituencies to where we match funds so that we can accelerate the electrification in the country. And therefore, Busia has come forth with a budget of 40 million, where we are matching the same 35 million. Therefore, we shall be undertaking projects worth 75 million. We've had other counties who have come forth in the matching fund program. We have the Kiambu County, we have the Uasin Gishu, we have Makueni and other counties that have come forth. And therefore, that is where, as REREC, we are here to launch these projects, as we undertake also other national government projects that REREC is doing in the county of Busia, worth around 360 million, where we shall work together with the county government.
Now, some elders and residents of Isiolo have inspected projects initiated by the county government to ascertain the truth of the Public Accounts Committee's statement in the Senate that these projects were stalled. Members of the Senate Public Accounts Committee, led by Senator Moses Kajwang, released a report accusing the county government of misusing funds and failing to complete the intended projects. Leaders of the county disputed the report despite several projects, including the mortuary of Isiolo Referral Hospital and various other projects being stalled, hampering activities. And now on to other news. There was a commotion in the Tarasa area of Tana Delta constituency, Tana River County, when a drunken man attempted to disrupt the laying of the foundation for the construction of a police station in the area. It is alleged that a man known as Gideon Koroso started shouting as he emerged from the nearby bush, criticizing the proposed construction of the police station. The event was attended by the new county commissioner David Koskei, accompanied by the county police commander Ali Ndema and the member of parliament for Garsen, Ali Wario. MP Ali Wario thanked the residents of Tarasa for donating 10 acres for the construction of the Tarasa police station and the directors of the Wachu Ranch for contributing 50 acres for the construction of the sub-county headquarters.
Naitwa Gideon John Koroso. Ndani ya nyumba. Hapa niko nyumbani. Nashangaa mimi napigwa pingu. Hakuna ngine napigwa pingu nipigwa mimi pingu. Sasa bondini. Kutoka shamba. Na kitana kuuliza kwamba kulikuwa kunaendelea nini?
Ambao wako wamekaribiana na hii project. Kazi pamoja na hizo contract ambazo tutakutana.
Na kwa sababu hii headquarter imekuja order, tunajua manufaa mengi yatakuja. Ya kwanza ni haya ya kazi, hizi kazi ndogo ndogo za kujenga hapa. Vijana watapata vibarua, waanze kujenga. Zitakaposimama watu watatafutwa wa hizi ofisi. Watatafutwa. Hata wale wa kufagia nazo ni kazi.
Hii Garseni constituency iko almost 16,000 square kilometers. Kilomita 16,000 mraba. Zile constituencies zingine ni ndogo kulingana na hii. Hawa vile wamepeana ardhi serikali, lizi yao itoke haraka sana bila kupitia mtu yote.
Hii station mheshimiwa, kama itakuwa within 3 months vile unasema, then itakuwa imepatia sisi momentum mzuri sana ya usalama ile, kwa sababu Tana Delta ndio imekuwa na picha mbaya sana katika Tana River mzima. Kwa hivyo tukimaliza story ya Tana Delta, wacha ibaki madogo kidogo na bura huko hakuna wasiwasi.
Now allow me to introduce the next segment where we'll be featuring some of the international stories that have been making headlines. And starting us off is the Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who has agreed to resign and make way for a transitional authority. The president of Guyana said Monday after a regional meeting on the crisis engulfing the poor Caribbean country, Mr. Henry, who had held the unelected role since 2021, traveled to Kenya to secure its leadership of a United Nations-backed international security mission to help police fight armed gangs. In the same report, we have news of Babaki, who is the leader of the revolutionary group, and armed thugs who are making reports, causing havoc in Haiti.
Accepter pour le mettre en place un conseil présidentiel de transition. Membre conseil sa yo pral choisi après une entente entre différents secteurs de la vie nationale. Haïti besoin de la paix. Haïti besoin de stabilité. Haïti besoin d'un développement durable. Haïti besoin de rebâtir institutions démocratiques. M'a demandé tout haïtien à tout haïtien yo pour être calme, cœur posé. Et pour faire tout ça capable pour que la paix retourne de même que stabilité, tout ça n'est plus rapidement possible pour bien payer. Moi, je voulais remercier le peuple haïtien pour l'opportunité que le BAM, ainsi que toute équipe gouvernementale, pour le servir avec intégrité, sagesse et honneur. Que Dieu bénisse Haïti noir. Merci.
Et moun qui va diriger le pays, ça, nous-mêmes, nous vivons ensemble. Nous avons exigé ces peuples haïtiens qui vont choisir moun qui va diriger le pays. Moun qui va diriger le pays, nous avons assuré nous que madame li, petite li, dans le pays. Moun qui va le ministre dans le gouvernement, ça, nous avons assuré nous que madame yo, petite yo, dans le pays. Je veux dire, c'est tout un système que nous avons capoté. Et nous avons profité pour le message ça clair. By tout le monde qui possède des hôtels dans le pays, qui pour mal et plaisir, à cacher les politiciens là-dedans. Nous avons venu ici par petit pas. Quel était Montana, quel était Caribé, n'importe hôtel lien qui cache les politiciens traditionnels. En dedans, hôtel là, nous-mêmes, nous vivons ensemble, nous avons assuré nous et que nous résoudons le problème ça, pas n'importe qui moyen. Et nous ne pouvons pas dire que nous avons une révolution pacifique. Nous n'avons pas une révolution pacifique. Nous avons une révolution sanglante dans le pays. Parce que le système qui est là, c'est un système apartheid, un système méchant. Mal à un hôtel qui est serré. Un politicien traditionnel qui a collaboré avec Ariel Henry.
We do hope that Haiti will regain peace and stability now with the resignation of their Prime Minister. Now, King Charles has been deeply touched by the support he has received since his cancer diagnosis. The 75-year-old monarch was diagnosed with an undisclosed form of the disease after a separate issue of concern was detected when he underwent a procedure for an enlarged prostate last month and had to pull out of an appearance at the celebration for Commonwealth Day in London, which is celebrated every 11th of March. Every year, but sent a video message where he spoke of how the 56-member association has been a constant in his life and vowed to serve as best as he can.
The 75th anniversary of the Commonwealth is a moment to reflect on the remarkable journey that our unique family of free and independent nations has made since 1949. Last year, the Bahamas celebrated its 50th anniversary of independence, as Grenada has this year and Papua New Guinea will next year. Each of these milestones, and many others like them, represent the fulfillment of countless aspirations and the achievement of such remarkable potential. And the Commonwealth's growth, with new members continuing to join our family of nations, demonstrates clearly that whilst we may not all have a shared history, we have common ambitions for a better future, working together to build resilience and respond to global challenges. The Commonwealth family is strongest when we are connected through friendship. As I've said before, the Commonwealth is like the wiring of a house, and its people, our energy and our ideas are the current that runs through those wires. Together and individually, we are strengthened by sharing perspectives and experiences, and by offering and borrowing the myriad ways we have each tackled the challenges of our time. This is true both at the level of nations and indeed at the local level. We recognize today that our diversity is our greatest strength. The Commonwealth represents a third of humanity from all regions of the world, with all the different experiences, knowledge, and aspirations that this brings.
Now, if you've been following the United States of American political field, then you will notice there was a list given out concerning Joe Biden being a top suspect in a list of people who are involved in a case. And due to that, Representative Adam Schiff confronted former Special Counsel Robert Hur for including references to President Joe Biden's memory in his report. Now, Uhru's report, which concluded last month that he will not bring criminal charges against Biden for his handling of classified material, depicted that the president as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. The report drew immediate backlash from Democrats and from Biden himself, particularly over Uhru's mention that Biden did not remember when his son Beau died. I do not need anyone to remind me when he passed away, quoting Joe Biden. Now, Biden said of the special counsel at the time.
My task was to determine whether the president retained or disclosed national defense information willfully. That means knowingly and with the intent to do something the law forbids. I could not make that determination without assessing the president's state of mind. For that reason, I had to consider the president's memory and overall mental state and how a jury likely would perceive his memory and mental state in a criminal trial. These are the types of issues that prosecutors analyze every day. And because these issues were important to my ultimate decision, I had to include a discussion of them in my report to the Attorney General. The evidence and the president himself put his memory squarely at issue. We interviewed the president and asked him about his recorded statement. Quote, "I just found all the classified stuff downstairs," end quote. He told us that he didn't remember saying that to his ghostwriter. He also said he didn't remember finding any classified material in his home after his vice presidency. And he didn't remember anything about how classified documents about Afghanistan made their way into his garage. My assessment in the report about the relevance of the president's memory was necessary and accurate and fair. Most importantly, what I wrote is what I believe the evidence shows and what I expect jurors would perceive and believe. I did not sanitize my explanation, nor did I disparage the president unfairly. I explained to the Attorney General my decision and the reasons for it. That's what I was required to do.
And with that, it marks the end of today's news bulletin. My name is Consolata Chibalonza. I do hope you have had a beautiful day. I wish you nothing but a good night, and until next time, God bless.